bienvenidos. Hello, welcome. It's so nice that all of you could attend this free Spanish lesson here at the college. I'll be your instructor today. And before we get started, I'm going to let you know a bit of information. We're going to be using this Spanish Complete textbook for our in-class work. I will be assigning you homework from this book, little exercises to complete, and in addition there's a little test yourself at the end of each unit that we do here in class. Don't worry, it's not going to be for marks. I just want to give you some time in class to work on the fill-in-the-blank test part so that you are up to date and understanding everything that we learned in class, okay? In addition to this textbook, you'll also be required to do an online component. The website is called Duolingo. It's also a free application if you would like to use the app, and I will be setting up a virtual classroom with which you can complete activities. The content online is different from the content we will be learning in class, and the reason why we're doing this multimodal type course is because I believe that people learn in many different ways, and it's best that we provide as many options as possible for all different learning styles. Basically, the things that you learn with application Duolingo is just going to augment what we're learning here in class, okay? So I'm going to be going along through this book, and I'm also going to be get my papers here, okay? I'm also going to be writing down some words as well for you to see. So let's grab our textbook, okay? And if you could please turn to page number 1. Actually, in the beginning there's a little bit of prelude, a little bit of additional information that you can read on your own. But let's go to page number 1, which is called Hello, How Are Things? Hola, ¿qué tal? So we're going to be talking about how to greet people first, okay? Now, the reason we're using this textbook, and what I really like about this textbook, is that if you start learning a new language, it's best to familiarize yourself with some common phrases and common words. Memorize some of them before you jump into the meat of the language, like the grammar and the verbs and the conjugation, because that type of stuff can be quite daunting, quite difficult, and quite hard to grasp. It could be discouraging for a lot of people. So we start by just passing you on a few little tidbits so you can start to build some confidence and get familiar with the language to help you out, okay? So let's start with how do we say hello, okay? It's a pretty common one. So does anyone remember what I said at the beginning of class when you first arrived? I said, hola. That's right. Just to let you know, in Spanish they have their exclamation marks, question marks on both sides. I won't be writing it down here on the paper. And additionally, the accents, they're going to be in your textbook. I'm not the best person at remembering where the accents go. So for the written part, for accents and things like that, refer to your textbook, not the notes that you'll see me writing, okay? Now, if you want to greet somebody in, say it's the morning, you could say something like, hola, and then buenos dias. Hola, buenos dias. Hello, good morning. Like that. And how about the afternoon? Does anybody know how to say good afternoon in Spanish? Buenas tardes. So you'll notice here, días is a masculine verb, and that's why it ends in os, whereas tardes is a feminine word and it ends in as. Don't worry too much about that. I just wanted to point it out to you so you can start to get familiar with things like that. Now we're going to do good evening or good night, and that is buenas noches. So noches, night, is a feminine word, and that's why we have the as there, okay? If you wanted to say, hey, how are things? Hi, how are things? You could say, hola, ¿qué tal? Hola, ¿qué tal? And that means, hello, how are things? So that's just a start, how you could greet somebody. Let me give you a couple scenarios and let you decide which choice you think is best, okay? If I asked you, let's say you're at a party in a Spanish-speaking country, and you see your friend over at the bar or something across the way, and you want to say, hey, how are things? Which option would you choose? Yes, hola, ¿qué tal? I can actually put this. Hola, ¿qué tal? Hi, how are things? Muy bien. Now let's say you are at a hotel in a Spanish-speaking country, and you are coming down the stairs, and you want to greet the receptionist, and you want to say good morning. What do you think would be the best way we could say that? Buenos días. That's right. Buenos días for the morning. Okay. Now we're going to move on to the next section, which is called What's your name? And in Spanish, it's ¿Cómo te llamas? So I'll write that here. ¿Cómo te llamas? Now this double L here is a different letter than we have in English. It's a letter in the alphabet, and it can be pronounced, as far as I know, 2 different ways. There could be more, depending on the country. There are many Spanish-speaking countries, and a lot of countries have their own way of saying certain vowels, and even they put stresses on different part of the words as well, and different accents, similar to English. So you could either say ¿Cómo te llamas? Or ¿Cómo te llamas? So this can be llamas or llamas. I'm not sure which countries make which distinction, but you can let me know if you know. So ¿Cómo te llamas? What is your name? Now we're turning over to page number 4 in our textbook, okay? Now, ¿Cómo te llamas? Is if you want to ask somebody who could be the same age as you, or, someone that you're more familiar with, more on a friendly basis with. If you were meeting, let's say, a boss or, somebody who garners a lot of respect or has a lot of respect, you would have to use what they have in Spanish, a more formal way of speaking. And to say that, we would have to say ¿Cómo se llama? I think, is there usted? I think that's optional. So, ¿Cómo se llama? ¿Cómo se llama usted? So, this is a formal way to ask the question. If I wanted to respond, somebody's asking me ¿Cómo te llamas? ¿Cómo te llamas? And I wanted to say my name is, then I would say me llamo, and then I would say my name. Me llamo is my name is, or It literally translates to I call myself. So let's say, for example, oops, do you see? I put ink on my face. Okay. Let's say, for example, somebody comes up to you and asks you, ¿Cómo te llamas? You could say, Me llamo Alyssa. And then if you want to know their name, instead of asking the whole question, ¿Cómo te llamas? You could say, and you? ¿Y tú? So, my name is Alyssa, and yours? Me llamo Alyssa, ¿y tú? And if you were speaking formally to somebody formally asks you, what's your name, and you want to be respectful in your response, you would say, usted? And you? Okay? Now, let's do another scenario, okay? Another scenario. If, let's see what they have here. You're at a party, and you see that friend of yours, or you see somebody that you've seen before. You go up to them and you want to greet them. You would say, Hola, ¿qué tal? And you want to know what their name is. So, which option do you think would be best to ask somebody how to say their name if you're at a party? ¿Cómo te llamas? That's right. And they could respond by saying, Me llamo so-and-so. ¿Y tú? Muy bien. Okay. So let's take a look at the second part. You're doing really good so far. I think we got a couple more sections, and then I'll let you go for a break. And when you come back, you'll do the small little test. It's not for marks, remember? So this next section is called I'm sorry, I don't understand. Okay? Perdón, no entiendo. Okay? So, in this section, we're going to learn how to ask somebody to repeat something, to speak slower, to ask them if they speak English, and to apologize and tell them that we don't speak Spanish very well. Okay? So, if somebody says something and you didn't catch what they said, or you're not sure what they said, you can say, Perdón. Perdón, no entiendo. Perdón, no entiendo. Sorry, I don't understand. Or you could say, ¿Cómo dice? Which is like, what was that? Or how do you say? Literally, how do you say? Like that? If somebody's speaking to you in Spanish and you kind of got it, but you need them to slow down a little bit, you would say más despacio, and then you say please. So somebody's speaking really quickly and you need them to slow down. You want to say, could you slow down please? Más despacio, por favor. Más despacio, por favor. And additionally, maybe they're speaking and you want them to repeat something that they just said. So if you want them to repeat, you would ask them, can you repeat please? Oops. ¿Puede repetir, por favor? So, can you repeat, please? ¿Puede repetir, por favor? puede repetir, por favor? Okay. Now let's say you're still talking with this person and they are talking slower, they have repeated, you're just not understanding and you really want to just, speak English. So you could ask them, if you want to ask them politely, you would ask them, ¿Habla usted inglés? Do you speak English? Okay. ¿Habla usted inglés? If you want to ask politely. If you want to just casually ask somebody, online or gaming or in person at a party, you ask them, ¿Hablas inglés? Do you speak English? So we have formally, ¿Habla usted inglés? ¿Habla usted inglés? And we have informally, ¿Hablas inglés? ¿Hablas inglés? Okay? And if we want to tell somebody that we don't speak Spanish very well, we could say, or somebody asks us, ¿Hablas español? We can say, no. No hablo muy bien español. Okay? No hablo muy bien español. So if somebody asks, do you speak Spanish? And I want to say, I don't speak Spanish very well. ¿Hablas español? No hablo muy bien español. Okay? So, we have one more quick little lesson here, okay? How to say goodbye, adios. And I'll tell you a couple other ways to say goodbye, and then I'll let you go for that break, okay? So, of course, the most common way that we know is adios. 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 I think that actually means literally go to with God or something. Anyways, you could say adios, buenos días, buenas tardes, buenas noches to say goodbye. You can also say hasta luego, see you later, or literally it means until later. And you can also say ciao, which is like saying cheerio. For me, adios and hasta luego can be used formally and informally, whereas I'm pretty sure ciao is more informal. I'm not sure which countries say ciao. I tend to think of Brazil when I think of ciao, but Brazilians don't speak Spanish, so, and I'm sure they also say ciao. And then we also have hasta ahora, which means see you in a minute. I've never used this one before. I don't quite get it. I've never heard anyone use it before. It might be a Spain from Spanish saying, I'm not sure. Hasta ahora, until now. And lastly, probably the most common one that you all know, that I'm sure probably doesn't get used that much because it's been butchered to death by American TV. Hasta la vista, or hasta la vista. Okay? And that means just see you. So, I'm gonna go over them one more time real quick. Okay. So we started with hola, buenos días, buenas noches, buenas tardes. Hola, ¿qué tal? ¿Cómo te llamas? ¿Cómo se llama usted? Me llamo. ¿Y tú? ¿Y usted? Perdón, no entiendo. Perdón, no entiendo. ¿Cómo dice? Más despacio, por favor. ¿Puede repetir, por favor? ¿Habla usted inglés? ¿Hablas inglés? No hablo muy bien español. La última página tenemos adiós, hasta luego, chao, hasta ahora y hasta la vista. Okay? So I think that's all that we're gonna do for now. I'm gonna let you take a break. And when you get back from your break, we're gonna do this test yourself section, okay? And it's just a few simple fill in the blanks, okay? It's not for marks, no pressure, no worries. Do your best. Try to do it on your own, not in partners or anything. And then we'll go over it in class together, okay? Please don't forget to sign up on Duolingo. It's free. Join the classroom and just check your syllabus for more information on the website and how to log in, okay? So let me just check my watch here. Okay. So it's about 1:15 right now. Take 15 minutes and then come back and work on the test yourself. Okay? So enjoy your break. And I'll see you in a bit, okay? Bye.